Hello everyone. I'm back to show you all the homemade fabrics I make. I color them in all different ways, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit on how I do that. These are one of the projects that I am working on right now with the fabrics that I have, dyed, colored, and it's this weaving technique that Oh, I found it on Mr. Domestic for the first time, and I really fell in love with it. And I actually made a whole bunch of cushions, and those were already given to my daughter-in-laws. But then I started doing the weaving technique with my own fabrics that I had dyed, and these are all old sheets, by the way. They're not. I don't buy fabrics to dye them. I rather buy fabrics that are already done. So yeah, these are the ones that I have fun with because they're old sheets, and I have you can make so many, things with old sheets, but when they're really worn down, I'll use them, to dust with and things like that. But these are sheets that, the edgings of them where it doesn't get worn down, I cut them away and then they're dyed. So I'll show you some of the fabrics first, and then we'll get back to this project that I'm doing because there's still a bit more for that. So the fabrics, I'll show you them by color so that way you can see them. So these are the yellow ones, and some of them are just dyed with normal dye. It's a dye that I use with boiling water, and I think it's an Italian brand. I'm not sure. If anybody wants to know, I can tell you the brand. It's a powder form, but you know what, you guys there, most of you that tune in are usually from the States or the UK, and it's so much easier for you guys to find dyes there. So yeah, and I buy them online anyways. So these are the yellows, and there's some that are dyed, and then they're stenciled on top. This is stenciled. This is dyed, and it was mixed with another color while like I was rinsing them off, and I'll put them in a big pail, and I don't mind this actually. I even do it on purpose. And yeah, and this is stenciled as well too. Not very many yellows. I have to work on those. And then I have, so this is a real old one that I did. This was done with the jelly plate back then, and a lot of stenciling all over it. Right now, it's probably one of my, well, I do have other scraps, but it was more of a darker colored family. My very first gel prints, I was doing them in darker colors because I wanted them that way. And then I went to all these, beautiful pastels and bright colors. So this is an oldie too. It's done on the gel plate. This is a type that I've been trying. So I've been trying batik, and I've been using my wood stamps in wax to stamp them with and everything. This was just done in an X form, but I'll show you now some of the fabrics. This one isn't that stiff, but some of the fabrics were left really, really stiff. So I'm wondering if I'm using the wrong type of wax. I'm not sure. I have to, if I want to do it again, I have to do more research on that. So this is just normally stenciled. This is a technique where you just, with your brush, you just put the color all over the place. Nice and watery acrylic paint, and naturally all my acrylic paints, the normal ones, I put in a medium so that way they can be used on fabric. And I do have paints that are actually made for fabric, so I use those as well too. And then I think I sprayed over this. Now this was the only fabric that I had lots of problems with. I just had to keep on rinsing and rinsing and rinsing this out. And actually what I did use on top of this was a spray by Deco Art. And like you can see here the colors where it did hold, but I had to continuously rinse this one out. And anyways, I put on all different types of forms of things that I have that I usually use for my jelly plate, and just sprayed so I got this effect. And then stenciling, more stenciling, and these are actually dyed normally with normal dyes. Then my favorite colors are all the greens. So these ones are old ones. This is one that I want to show you, is that the one with the wax. So I do want to try putting this in boiling water again and see what happens. But I do like the effect, but I just don't like that it's hard, because I do use them in sewing projects. So if it doesn't work out, I could always use it in a mixed media project. I can even use this on a canvas. The ideas are endless to where I could use this again, but I would actually like to see if I could get it back to a softer cotton. It was a thicker cotton to begin with, because I have lots of my mother-in-law's old sheets, and those were woven sheets, like really old sheets. So, and they were thick. This is a technique that I did, always dyeing, but I did tie the fabric. I think I was tying it like this. I was maybe folding it. So the other techniques that I was using when I do dye fabric normally is I would be tying the fabrics in all different, I would be wrapping them around the tubes as well too, and scrunching them up, and yeah, beautiful effects. More stenciling. This is more of that fabric that I could still feel the hardness of the wax in it. So these ones I want to all reboil and see what happens. I'm going to give them one last chance. So this is my favorite technique. This technique is, so you get your acrylic paint, fixing it up with your medium, or use acrylic paint that's for fabric. You water it down a lot, and you just get this piece of fabric saturated with water. You can wet your fabrics. Actually, it's better if you make them nice and damp before you start this proceed. And then what you do is you just pour salt all over it and just leave it for a day or two. Make sure it dries good, but just leave it. And this is the effect that the salt gives it. It's just gorgeous, especially when you do it on darker colors. It just comes out beautiful. This came out more. I don't know how you guys are seeing it in the camera. I'll see it later. It's a bit muted from what I'm seeing here, but my lighting's all terrible as well too. But yeah, this is another piece, and it'll start forming these designs as well too. It's just gorgeous. So the salt actually picks up all the color. Stenciled. More stencil, more stencils, more stencil. You can't, with the things that I do with this fabric, you can't really see all the designs, but in all they look beautiful. This is another spray technique that I did as well too, but I used acrylic paint. I put it in a spray bottle, I watered it down, because I did not want what happened to the other one happened to this too. So I stopped using the sprays. This is another marble. I call it kind of like a marble effect, I guess. One with the salt. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or specking, cement. It looks cool though. It looks really, really cool. Stenciling, stenciling. And these are just normally dyed. This is probably scrunched up. Okay. And I have them all color-coded, so that way I don't have to go crazy looking for them all the time. More stenciling, stenciling. This is another harder one too. This one came out with a beautiful blue dyeing. This is another harder one too, that there's wax on it. Yeah, and this is another one as well too, that I did the wax on. So yeah, I want to. Now these ones here, they were re-dyed. They were done a long time ago. And the last batch that I did when I was dyeing fabrics, I stuck them in there because my dyeing method, I use boiling hot water. So I was thinking, okay, now the wax will probably melt, but I don't know. I think I used the wrong wax. I just used beeswax. So this is, these are all dyed normally with normal dye. This one actually, see, you could see faintly the flower, so because this was all folded up into a triangle or a square, and then there was objects put in there, and then I would wrap rope around it, so it would be, it was like, I think they call it tie and dye. But there's all different types of techniques. There's so many videos out there that, you know, you can see. Stenciling, stenciling, more stenciling. This is another type of thing that I did, tying. I think these were, they look like some kind of sticks that came out really cool on the top. It's a shame that the color, like this real nice design, only comes out once, maybe twice. Here you could see it very faintly. Then the rest of it that's folded up, you know, on the outside comes out with this blue. So, but you know, I'm just trying out, playing around, and I like the effects it's coming out to. So, and if I don't like it, I can always re-dye them again, stencil them over. This is another one here. This was one that was scrunched up. Yeah, this one I rolled on a tube, a plastic tube, you know, a plumber's tube, and then I wrapped a whole bunch of string around it, scrunched it up, and then put it into the dye. So what I was doing was, because I only have one pan to use for dye, so I was continuously making new colors and pouring them into these plastic bins that I used to dye with. So that way I could put these big objects, like there was tubes that were about 12 inches long, so I needed a nice bin to put, you know. This is one that I did a long time ago, and this is a scrunching technique, but look at the way it came out. It looks like teeth. And this one back then, when there was COVID, I was saying, I think I did a mask with this, and I gave it to one of my kids. But yeah, I really like this effect that it gave. Really cool. And this is another hard one with wax still in it. I don't know what to do with them. Hopefully. So, and the last ones are all the pinks. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different, you know, the same. This is the same effect that's done with the salt. You can see it on another color. And, you know, all different types of stenciling. And, you know, and then, like I say, the ones here that are plain, they still can be stenciled. So much can be done with them, you know, when I need them. I don't necessarily stencil all of them all at once. I usually leave, you know, some that are plain, so that way if I want to decide to. This was another folded up one that had some kind of objects in it to create this design in it. Yeah, beautiful fabrics, and most of all, I have fun. These last two, this was a marbling effect that I did with fabric, but I did it with, oh, what's that thing called? Shaving cream, yeah. This was done with shaving cream. And I think this one was done, yes, this one was done with shaving cream too. Which came out really nice too. So all the paints that I used in there were all prepared always with, this is another one that, I think this was just a pickup. I was cleaning my brushes with this cloth and everything, and I loved the effect on it. So, I ironed it really, really well. It had been, you know, used and used and used, so I ironed it really, really good. And then I washed it, and then I ironed it again, and that's what happened. Okay, so getting back to these, I want to do a wall hanging with these. So I got, I think, 3 of each color, and I might be making, I think I still have to make, do I have the greens made? I'm not sure. So yes, I do, because I have a small one here. So fooling around with all the scraps, I decided to make little hearts, and I attached them to this border right now, because this is the same fabric actually that I'm probably going to use for the background of this wall hanging here. I don't know how I want to position all these hearts yet. But these will come to good use when I need to put this thing together. If I have to make this bigger, so be it, because I still have a lot of this left over, pieces that are still uncut. Oh, the purples. So all the fabrics that I showed you, they're in here. Okay, another thing I do, now this isn't fabric that I did, but I've done cushions with fabric that I did. with this weaving technique, just to show you what you can do with this weaving technique as well. And then on these little panels, I did a whole bunch of hand stitching. I'm not an expert in, embroidery, but I'm trying. I'm really trying, and I am enjoying it most of all too. So yeah, this is a nice long cushion. I have this measurement on my sofa, and I put them out for spring. This is another one that I made that I still have to finish. So this is a nice bigger cushion that's square. And, oh yeah, I did finish I was seeing here that you couldn't see the thread, but this is a variegated thread, so it would go really light in some places. But yeah, so these are all these batik fabrics, you guys. They're not my homemade. I have done them with my own homemade ones. This is an example of a cushion that I'm making with prairie points with all these my fabrics. And I have washed projects that I've done already with these things. So this one, I ran out of fabric back, because they're all different fabrics. You can see that they're all different fabrics of the ones that I just showed you. I don't have any more of these greens. Oh, I don't have any more of these. But anyways, I ran out of fabrics, and I wanted to make this cushion bigger, because this is how big it is. It's about 15 inches, but I did want to make it a bit more longer to make it more of a square, because these sides are going to have to be cut, so it will turn out, smaller. And just to add another couple of one more colored one and one more white one, so that way I can finish this off, close it up. I'll show you one that's finished already. Where is it? Okay, there it is. There we go. So this is a pretty big one too. It's more rectangular. It's meant to sit up upright here, because I put this, well, what would you call that? A trim with a couple of buttons. And the cushion underneath, my sister had older cushions, upholstery cushions, and this was an actual upholstery cushion where I cut the zipper, made it smaller, and made a backing for this cushion. And this is always prairie points as well too. And it's all different colors. This I put out in the springtime too with the other cushions that I've made. And then, last but not least, this is another proof of me being able to wash all these fabrics. This has been washed a couple of times already, and it needs to be washed again. So what I did with this cushion is I have lots of different types of fabrics in ivory, satins, and damasks, and linens. And I added all these squares together, and I think I did this all by hand too. I did all the piecing together by hand. Then I started sewing I made circles out of all those fabrics that I previously made. So these are all my first batch fabrics as well too, the very first ones that I did. And I did a lot of stitching around them and everything. And I had a ball. And this has been washed. Actually, even with, delicate fabrics that are in here, it's actually really, doing its job. It's holding together. Now, mind you, I wash this by hand because the fabrics are so delicate already. I do wash this by hand. It doesn't take much to do it at all. Okay, and then as the last thing, there they are. Okay, here are my green hearts, which I wasn't really happy. I want them more green, so I might be redoing these. I'm not sure, because I have a ball just sitting in front of the TV preparing all these strips. I do them with, the clover, oh, what's that thing called? The clover bias maker. And this is what I do. So in here I have all different types of scraps, and this is what I do. So I prepare them, and these are already folded and ironed, but I will have to do them over again to get, you know, a nice clean weaving. You want them nice and ironed as well too. So these I'll probably all re-iron. And I have a whole bunch of these underneath ready to go, ready to use, except for the green ones. Here are more little hearts that I can add to, I'm going to be making more of those strips, so that way if I want to do some border around it, I can. And that's it. So the only thing I'm going to show you now is the, there's more green ones. Oh, those are the ones I just put down. The couple of things that I'm going to do really, really fast so that way I can show you in my next video. In my next video, I'll be showing you all the unfinished projects that I started that are still in pieces. The last video I showed you what I need to quilt. And this is what I really need. So these are old things that I'm finding in my bins. So this was a welcome sign that I made once upon a time. I stenciled it. I love stenciling. So I stenciled it on fabric and everything. It's ironed and all that. And I even washed it again the other day because I wanted to work on a clean slate. And it had been put away for about 20 years. So yeah, I did all this stenciling and the border around it. I might be making it bigger, but this is going to be a project that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to hand quilt this. So, and then these I found as well too, which I want to do probably as soon as I finish this video. I'm going to make, whatchamacallits, tea towels. These are actual tea towels, but I want to double them up. So I found this homespun orange, which I'm going to double up both of them with, and I actually have 2 of them. So, and I want to put them in my kitchen as soon as possible before autumn finishes. Another thing that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, probably all day, are these. So I'm preparing my Christmas gifts already, and I'm making gloves. And I bought that Easel Bright, I think they call it, Easel Bright. So yeah, I'm going to be making these as Christmas gifts this year. And this is the tea towel that it's going to be a 2-piece set. The glove and the tea towel. This is another one that I did. And this one I'm probably keeping for myself because, one, I love this fabric. It has the cows on it. So this is the border on the tea towel. And 2, why I'm keeping it as well too is because I tried my hand at doing the binding, attaching it with the machine on the top and the bottom, and I didn't like it. So, and it came out really terrible. And then my quilting came out terrible on this as well too. I don't know what happened. I don't know. This type of fabric here, it seems more like a polyester than anything else. I'm not sure what went wrong there because then my next one came out perfect. And I'm not talking about this one. This one doesn't have any quilting on it. Well, yeah, it actually does. It has all the crisscross quilting here on the end of the glove to keep it together. But you see, my backing here came out much better doing it by hand. And I like working by hand as well too. So yeah, you guys, these are the things that I'm going to be finishing. I actually have all the fabrics. These are already cut, ready to go. So I'm doing this green with this one. And you know what? I'm using fabrics that I have. I didn't buy anything for this. These are all Christmas fabrics that I already had in the house. Where is it? Oh, there's a pretty one too. Yeah. These I think I bought a couple of years ago and I never did anything with them. So now it's time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days. And that's about it. So my next video, which will probably be next week, I'll be showing you all the unfinished projects that I've started and that are sitting there just waiting for me. They're all in pieces and I got to get them done because I'm even happy to bring them to the state of ready to be quilted. I know I have a whole bunch that need to be quilted, but at least they're done. They're not in boxes, all in pieces. They're finished, and once I have a couple of them that I have to finish, will be given away too. So I'm in a hurry to finish those. So those will be my, priorities to quilt as soon as I'm finished them. So that's about it, you guys. Until the next time, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay safe. Bye bye.